I pop my back way too often. It's
I don't pop my back actually. I pop my knuckles, I pop my,
I do stuff like
I
that.
do that, I just pop. Come on. We're on camera, man, don't do this.
Yeah, I heard it.
Yeah, it didn't pop, it didn't pop. It kinda popped. Let's say it popped. Popped. Okay, well, we don't know what we wanna say, let's like.
No, I mean, so I guess the entire point of this is, I mean, I guess this is the intro, right? The point of this is that we are gonna talk about our check-ins, right?
Yes.
Every week, we're gonna be like, hey, this is what we wanted to achieve,
Mhm.
this is what we achieved, this is what we didn't achieve, and if we didn't achieve it, we're gonna be mad,
Mm-hmm.
right? So that's the goal for today.
Alright, I like
Okay.
it.
So I guess to start off is, what do each of us want? Do you wanna go first?
Yeah, thanks for that. Hi friends, family, loved ones. Personally, I would like to gain weight, and I would like to gain it in a constructive way, in which I am retaining strength, if not gaining strength at this point, and gaining muscle. So, a large part of that right now is, we're gonna cut that out.
No. This is everything.
A large part of it is eating right, because I have been losing strength gains, but that's also because I haven't been going to the gym as well, or stretching. Stretching is important. But a part of it is definitely gonna be tracking food. So you and I are gonna, even though it's not bulking season, although it's always bulking season for me, although it's not that season, we're still going to be tracking our food intake. And like we were talking about earlier, we're going to start using MyFitnessPal, which is an app that I've used in the past and found very constructive. Zane has started to use it as well.
Day
So-
2, hoorah.
Day 2, it tracks your like progress, so it'll tell you like, yo, you've recorded 2 days in a row,
Yeah.
good job. By the
Yeah,
way,
it's
if
already
you're out
started
there,
yelling at me
sponsor
for
us.
not like doing my meals at the proper time or something.
And in my case, it'll help me to make sure that I'm reaching the surplus, the caloric surplus that I'm aiming for, so that I can start turning my training sessions into a form of bulking as well. And while that's being done, I do have very high metabolism, some of you might relate out there. So part of that is also going to be me keeping up with measurements. Right now, we'll hopefully get a chance to do some measurements on me. Zane doesn't want to right now in
Yeah.
his fitness routine, but I think I'm in a good place where I can actually keep up with like my arm size, my chest size, my leg size, which never grow. And so I'm gonna hopefully be keeping track of that. So while we're talking metrics, the first one is weighing in. So I weighed in at 135 roughly this morning. That's about a pound more than I have been. The weeks prior have usually been 134. I was sitting at 140 at one point, but unfortunately, irregular gym practices and lack of food have gone against me. But that's that. Zane, can you help me measure my bicep?
Yeah.
You're supposed to flex, right?
I don't actually know.
I don't know if you're supposed to flex.
But
Wait, Google it.
Go ahead and flex.
Go ahead, let's show off the puppies.
Because it'll potentially grow more, right? So we're at 12 inches.
Yeah, we're just about 12 inches.
Like
Okay, 11 and a half. So let's say 11 and a half to 12 on arms.
yeah, very scientific measurements.
It's balance. It's balance. I don't know how to flex my leg. Oh, there you go.
And out for the quads.
the
I think it's
quads.
in for the. But I guess it doesn't really matter.
Doesn't
right?
really matter. I'm at about 16 inches for legs, but there are jeans, so let's say 15 and a half. 16 and a half. So 15 and a half, 16 and a half. We'll put this on the. Put this
So
right here.
your right half of your body is bigger than your left half of your body. That's what we determined.
No, this one's bigger and this one's bigger.
Oh.
I'm off balance.
Well,
That's why you don't see me flipping.
That's what keeps you on balance.
That's what keeps me on balance. So that's where I am. Any questions?
So what are you gonna do this week? What's the goals for the week?
The goals for the week are going back to the gym. I did injure my leg a little bit, and I have been working on a shoulder injury that's been on me for a number of months actually. So hint, hint, we'll actually hopefully be doing a video on that. But going back to my injuries, I'm going to probably not be doing leg day this week, but I will try to stay consistent with the rest of my upper body workouts. And then
What about food?
and then with food, I need to check my MyFitnessPal and see what it wants. But I believe last time I checked, it was fitting a goal for me, which was 3,200 calories in a day. The average diet can be anywhere from I think 2,000 to 2,600. I think our podcast we did recently with Zishan Parpia, who is a personal trainer who was nice enough to be our first guest for our podcast. He talked a little bit about caloric surplus, but the average diet is from 2,000 to 2,600, whereas I'm going to be eating at a surplus of 3,200.
Yeah, I guess one thing you guys do have to keep in mind that he's also 6'4",
Yeah.
right? So his metabolism, what he needs to actually gain muscle is going to be, even for just a show, it's going to be a lot more than what maybe your average height person would need.
Yeah, for sure. So take your height, take your weight, take your age and your gender into consideration when you're trying to understand your caloric needs. MyFitnessPal actually does do a great job of setting up goals for you, but it can only be so precise. I would definitely recommend doing some research on your own time, and maybe even reaching out to a personal trainer. Zishan's a great place to start. And that's where I'm sitting right now.
So I guess off to me now.
Yeah.
So this morning I weighed in at about 225 pounds.
Okay.
I have been weighing in at 225 for quite a while now.
That's consistency.
Yeah,
That's
it's
important.
been. I mean, it was like a fast balloon up to 225, and then it just stabilized at 225.
It's really interesting, actually.
And so my goal, I guess, is to get down to like, I guess, 165, 170, hopefully in like 5-6 months or so. So that's about 50 pounds. So 10 pounds a month, which, might be a little bit pushing it, might be doable. I guess it depends.
Yeah, it sounds dramatic. Obviously, at the beginning of your process, it's going to shed a lot faster, but you wanna try to.
Yeah, but I mean, they
take
say
it as healthy as possible.
2 pounds per week is about average, right? So
Yeah.
that puts 6 months puts me kind of right at that 50 pound
Yeah.
50 pound area.
Hoorah!
So I guess so I started using MyFitnessPal.
Yeah.
So the biggest thing is that if you look on here, I thought I didn't eat very much yesterday, right? And I ended up getting 2,500 calories.
Wow.
Yeah, and that's a light. I mean, based on what I like looking through this, I usually eat a lot more than this during a day.
Yeah.
So I'm easily probably getting like 3,000 plus calories a day worth of food.
And that's actually 2,500 would probably be an average day for me, and like average and satiable,
Yeah.
satisfied day. You know what I mean?
I mean, and that's one of the ways like you and I are very much like opposites, right? Like you got the height difference, right? You got the weight difference. You also just got the food intake difference, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And both of us can also work on leveraging our diets. What word am I looking for?
Yeah. So I mean, I think for this first week, like my goals are really just going to be like.
Gloss over me. Give me a second.
Is going to be like focusing on figuring out exactly what I eat.
Yeah.
Right, because kind of thinking through it, I'm like. I used to feel like throughout the day I don't eat that much, but like I'm thinking like as soon as I start tracking it, I realize that there's a lot of like small things and small meals that I eat throughout the day that kind of balloon up to a lot of food. So, there's a lot of rice in my diet, tons of milk. Like that's the one like I guess one of my biggest sins, right? It's milk in the morning, milk in the afternoon, milk at night.
You're not the first person I've heard that actually does that. So there are people that really like milk with every meal, but it's definitely going to be more calories than you need in your diet. If you cut that out and replace it, it is a good source of protein. But if you just supplement that out with water and just keep one glass of milk in your diet, just because I'm sure there's nutritional benefits to milk as well. Not that you can't get it from vegan sources, but
get milk from vegan sources?
Nah, I mean almond milk, coconut milk, soy milk,
juices.
so on and so forth. Those are juices.
Those are juices.
If anything, they're shakes. But yeah, okay, cool.
Yeah,
That's great that you've already found some insights through the.
Yeah. Let's see. What? I guess. So yeah. So I guess this week. So today is Monday. By the way, I guess we didn't really mention that.
Today's Monday.
So our check-ins will hopefully be around Sundays or Mondays or Tuesdays at the latest most week. That way we can kind of keep consistent with kind of like the information. Even if we, I guess, even if we don't do the video on that day, at the very least all of our weigh-ins and everything will be done on that day.
Mm-hmm.
That way, like the information that you guys get and the information that we get is consistent.
Sundays would be good. We'll try to do it on Sundays. And then this is going to be very freeform. So we'll just be doing a one take through in most cases. So hopefully we will be able to upload it around Monday, Tuesday time.
Yeah. So this week, after by the end of today, I want to have gone to the gym once. Gone to the gym on Wednesday. Gone to the gym on Friday. Not have gone to the gym on Friday by the end of today, but have gone to the gym Friday when Friday ends.
So your goal is 2 times in a week?
3 times.
3 times in a
Use
week.
tonight, Wednesday, Friday.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
So and if I miss a day, it'll just I guess I'll carry it over to the next. So if I miss today, which I probably won't, it'll be Tuesday. If I miss Wednesday, it'll be Thursday. If I miss Friday, it'll be Saturday.
Right. And trying not to miss more than 1 day in a row. In some cases, 2 days in a row.
Right. Yeah.
But life happens. Okay.
So I guess for me, like I don't really care, I guess, about the proportions
Quite
of my
yet.
body as much.
Yeah.
Like I guess the main thing is just like the waist. As soon as the waist kind of comes in, as long as the bulge is slowly disappearing. Like I guess the visual aesthetic of it is a little bit more important to me of like losing weight rather than necessarily building size at this point. I've always been I always feel like I gain strength very easily over time. Like back when I used to work out in college, or even when I played rugby for a very short amount of time, like I felt like whenever I started working out, the strength would kind of just balloon up. And I think in bro culture, it's called noob gains.
Yeah.
But I feel like I'm always in that noob gains area.
Well, you do. Do you generally take long periods away from the gym? And
Yeah,
away
so
from training?
I'll work out for 2-3 years straight,
Wow.
and then just not work out for 2-3 years.
Yeah, it almost seems like you're resetting your body. Although I know there's a lot of science behind. Once you have gone to the gym and trained and really learned the movements, your muscle memory really retains a lot of that, so that when you go back, you will be able to catch up.
That is one thing that I think one of the reasons why I want to lose weight, right? Is I feel like I knew how my body worked when I was skinnier, and now that I'm fatter, it's like a lot of the forms are just a lot harder for me to do.
Yeah, because you're basically putting on a backpack, a 50-pound weight backpack, and doing
front
everything
pack.
that you're a front pack. Yeah, so that makes a lot of sense. So hopefully you'll be able to work on that week by week, shed 1 to 2 pounds, and be back at your optimal state that you have been for the majority of your life.
Yeah,
And then we can, obviously week to week, we'll also be reevaluating, myself included.
Wrong top.
Gross.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Right. So I think that's our first check-in for this week.
For this week, for this channel,
for
life.
Whoa.
I've
Hopefully
never checked in before, dude.
Yeah, I'm sure you've been at you're on your phone. You order some Chick-fil-A, or not order Chick-fil-A. I guess order.
How dare you, Egan?